everybody, welcome to my video today. I am hoping to have this up for you guys on Friday. I'm filming Friday morning and trying to get this up. This is going to be a simply layered page. I've been wanting to do one of these for a couple weeks now and I just have not been able to get it done. So I'm hoping to get this posted for you today on Friday, but I still have the PDF to create and those are kind of time consuming. So at the very latest, it'll be up on Saturday. So either way, in the next couple days, you're gonna see this video. I wanna do a simply layered page for you guys, and what I'm gonna be using today is going to be the frosted, the first frost stamp set, and then the frosted bouquet framelits. Now these are in the holiday catalog. You can bundle these together and then you can save 10%. So I'm going to be using just a couple of the stamps and then I used a couple of the dies. Originally I was planning on using the designer paper that kind of coordinates with this suite of product, but I ended up using this designer paper, and this is the Country Lane designer paper. I've been using this for quite a few different things, but it just has these great fall colors and designs. I really like it. And then I also grabbed out my 6x6 subtle basics. This is like basic designer paper, polka dots and stripes, and I needed a mint macaroon piece, which is one of the colors that coordinate with this. So I grabbed that out, and that's the designer paper I'm using. And then I'm going to be using my color scheme today is going to be crushed curry, blackberry bliss, and then mint macaroon. So I'm only using the ink, these two inks, but this is the colors that our page is going to be in. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me bring all of my stuff over here and we will get started with this page. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is from that Country Lane designer paper, we're going to pull out a couple sheets here. The first one we're going to use is this, and we're going to use the 12 by 12 piece. This is the design on the other side, and then it's this beautiful wood grain on this side. And then the next piece we're going to need is the Blackberry Bliss polka dot, or there's several other Blackberry Bliss pieces that have, you know, that are this solid purple color. You could pick any of them. So what you're going to do is you're going to want to trim this down to, let me just make sure here, 8.5 by 10.5. You're going to need 2 pieces of these. So go ahead and grab both of the wood grain pieces right here, and then you're going to grab 2 of the blackberry pieces, and the blackberry pieces here you're going to cut at 8.5 by 10.5. I am using my ATG gun, not successfully here. Piece, what you're going to do is just center it. This is something that you guys see me do quite a bit. It's an easy way to start a page like this, is this type of layer. And we're going to do the same thing to this side, but I'm just working one side at a time here. So I have some strips here of designer paper. I have a yellow piece here, and I have this piece, and then here's that mint macaroon piece I was talking about. And what I want to do is layer these together, and they're going to run right off the page. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to use my grid mat. That's why I'm not all the way zoomed in quite yet. So I just want to make sure that my layout itself is lined up with my lines on my grid mat. And then I've cut these strips larger than probably what I need. I'm going to trim some off the edge here, but I like things to be a little bit longer so I can get all of my placement where I want it, and then I can trim off the extra. And then I'm not going to push down on this until I'm ready with where the layers are going to be. So you can see that I've just kind of dropped that down. And then the next one I want, and you could flag these if you wanted. Originally, that's what I thought I would do, is I would flag the end of them, but then I decided I really liked the look of them just straight. So I'm overlapping these Again, I'm using my grid mat to make sure these are straight as possible. They don't have to be perfect. And then we'll do this last one that has some really beautiful colors in it. And I want to overlap this. And this one's going to be a little bit harder because, of course, I don't have any lines to kind of follow. And I'm not directly over it. So hopefully that's good. And we're just going to go with it just like this. So can you see that? So now what I have is I have a couple photo mats, and what I've decided is I do want to layer these. So with these simply layered pages, the idea is you can put these together and then without your photos and add your photos later. So my photo mats are always pretty simple. They're always 6 1/4 by 4 1/4 or 6 by 4. This way you don't really have to trim your photos. I like to make it really easy on myself so that I can just drop a photo into my page and be done. So what I've done here is this mat is 6 1/4 by 4. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm going to add a layer that is 6 1/4 by 4 1/4 so I can just layer this. I decided at the last minute that I really wanted a white border around my photos. So this is 4 1/4 and then I want 4 1/4, right? Let me double check. Nope. I'm gonna want 4 1/2 by 4 1/2. So what we're gonna have here, I'm gonna put my photo mats together and then we're gonna work on the rest of the layout. What I have here is a 6 by 4 mint macaroon photo mat. Then I'm layering that onto 6 1/4 by 4 1/4. Then I have 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 mint macaroon, 4 1/2 by 4 1/2 whisper white. Then this is crushed curry, and this is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, and then 4 1/2 by 3 1/2. And I'm gonna layer these together. So you can see now that I've added my white border, and just as a reminder, I create a PDF for you guys, a printable tutorial that you can print. It's in the YouTube description below. It's over on my website as well. You can print that out and it has all of these measurements and it has a page diagram. So the next thing that we're gonna do is take this photo mat, and I have some crushed curry chevron ribbon, and then I just have cut 2 pieces, and I'm gonna do a little cheater method bow where I just tie the smaller piece around the larger piece, and that's gonna give the illusion that it's this bow, but it's a lot easier, right? And then this part, the bow part, is gonna be able to move back and forth. So what I wanna do is just grab a little bit of Scotch tape right here. I'm gonna grab 2 pieces. And what we're gonna do is wrap the ribbon around the photo mat. This way you can still drop your photo in and there's nothing glued down. And it's super easy to then just drop your photo in and still have this element. So we have our bow on here. I'm gonna tighten up where my bow is, and then I can also move this down a little bit and then trim up my edges to make this a little bit smaller. So I have my bow there, and then here's my other photo mats, and we will add those at the very end. So what I want to do is add some other elements here. So I'm just going to make sure my layout is lined up on my grid, and then I have several pieces that are going to go over here. So I have this Give Thanks die. This Give Thanks die is from Ali Edwards. It's a die that I purchased from her shop. It's no longer available, so that's unfortunate, but it's a beautiful die. It says Give Thanks. And then I'm just adding, these are from the die set right here. It's this piece right here. So this makes a great layer. I can add my journaling to this if I want. And I'm just layering them there. And then I've taken this rose right here from the stamp set, and I have stamped the rose right here in crushed curry. So then the way my photo mats are going to be laid out will be just like this. This one's going to go here, and then I will have a macaroon layer there. this here. This is going to slide all the way over closer to the designer paper. And then I have these buttons, and these are older buttons. They're retired. We had them a couple years ago, and I'm going to add them right here. So that's why I want my photo mat over as much as possible. I want room for these buttons, and I'm going to add 3 right there. So I'm going to glue all of this down, get it all adhered down, and then we'll work on the other side, and then you'll see how this page comes together. Okay, for the second side, I have all the same elements. So I have my photos, the photo mats exactly the same. I have some of these shapes again. I have the buttons and the paper. It's all the same. So we're just going to duplicate the same layout on the other side. So this is the 8.5 by 10.5 piece of designer paper, and we're going to bring over our layout so that we can line these up. That's going to be important. We're going to want all of these to line up. So I know you can't see all of this over here, but I'll zoom out in a minute and I'll show you, but I just want to make sure I'm lining this up. So now let's begin putting our other pieces on here. This is going to go up top, and this is going to go on the bottom, because we're going to flip the way our photos and our side pieces are. So we have these layers up here, you can see that. So instead of putting them here and making it exact, we are going to add them to this side. And again, I'm going to do the same thing where I'm going to use my grid mat. I've made these longer so that I can just trim off the edge. Next, I have these items here. This first one is going to go up top, and you can see I've done it in this corner, and my other one on that corner, you'll see in just a minute, is on the bottom corner, so it is going to pull us together this way. And then I have a couple more of these, and I thought these would be perfect for journaling. And then from the Country Home stamp set, I stamped this, Simply Thankful for All Good Things, all the good things. So these are going to layer here, and what I'm probably going to do is put these flat and then pop up the one that has the... Okay, so on this side, what I did is I added the buttons here to the bottom, and I used the tear and tape, which is a really strong adhesive, to put these buttons on. They're metal, so they are a little bit heavy. So here is both sides. Let me zoom out a tiny bit so you can see both sides together. I love the colors of this, and I love the way this turned out. I have the stamping here, the give thanks here, and then this is stamped from Country Home. And then I can do journaling in any of these if I wanted, or I could do journaling here in one of the 3x4s, and then my photos will just fit right in there. I did a little bit of linen thread in the buttons just to give it a little bit of some, dimension and another pop of color with the linen thread. So I hope you guys enjoyed seeing this. Remember, you can print the PDF out so that you can see all of the measurements, all of the supplies I used, along with the color scheme. You can do that from the YouTube description or over on my website. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I will see you guys next week for some more crafty projects. thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today and watching my videos. Here are 2 other of my most recent videos. I would love for you guys to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I will catch you in my next video. I hope you all have a wonderful day.